This morning we are at beautiful Lay Lake. We are at Paradise Point Marina. It's about 6:15 in the morning, and today we got a little bit of post-frontal conditions and the water's been low and it just came back up today, and so it could be really tough or it could be really good. We don't know yet, but I don't know. We'll try to figure something out.
I think this morning we're probably going to focus on the grass this morning. Try to get a big bite this morning. Lay Lake's known for its grass fishing, so I think we're going to try that this morning first, and then we may move out and do some crankbait fishing and maybe throw a jerkbait or something just different. Try to catch some spots because this lake's got some big spots on it too. I just love this lake, man. It's our home lake. It's one of the best. I think in my opinion, it's one of the best on the Coosa River. So yeah, we're gonna get to it.
It's definitely the most versatile lake on the Coosa River.
Absolutely. Big spots and big largemouth.
You can kind of do whatever you want to do and catch big fish, so it's always a gamble. We just filled the Bass Cat up with gas this morning and we are ready to go film some winning edges.
I'm Coach Jay Matthews, Briarwood Christian School in Birmingham, Alabama. We're on a chilly post-front fall day here at Lay Lake, and these guys right here are about to show us some winning edges.
My name's Chandler Holt. I go to Briarwood Christian School. I'm on the bass fishing team. I've been on the bass fishing team for 3 years. My favorite way to fish is fishing in the grass at Lay Lake. The biggest fish we're caught in a tournament. It's a 5.5 pounder in the World Finals at Pickwick on a ledge, and this is winning edges.
My name's Turnbloom. I'm on the University of Alabama fishing team. I've been on the team for 2 years. I'm a sophomore. I graduated from Briarwood Christian High School. And my favorite way to fish is swimming a jig in grass, and the biggest tournament fish I've ever caught was a 6'2" on a popping frog.
Oh yeah!
Yeah!
Right now, we just got here and the water's pretty muddy. Figured that, something dark like a black and blue or a black and red would be the best thing to throw because they can see it better in this dark water.
Yeah, this morning we're focusing on throwing a swim jig, trying to get a morning bite in the grass. We tend to get bigger bites in the grass in the morning here on Lay Lake. I'm throwing a black, blue, and purple swim jig with a blue chunk on the back. Well, let me fix it. The water's been down for about 2 weeks. It's been about 5 feet down, and the fish were really eating the past 2 weeks. And just yesterday they pulled it back up to 6 inches below full pool. So it's kind of like fishing new water right now. We're gonna do the best of both worlds right now, and just kind of see what's going on. I was hoping these fish would get shallow so we can get a good swim jig bite. We'll see.
Since the water's kind of murky and it's kind of post-frontal and they just pulled the water back up and stuff, we figured the fish would be a little bit finicky. So on your jig, you want to throw a chunk that doesn't have too much action on it. You don't want something that's going to freak them out and scare them. You just kind of want something that's subtle with a little bit of kick so they can find it, but nothing too much. The key on the Coosa River to swimming a jig is when you throw it out there, you want to pump your rod really, really quick. And you don't ever want to move the jig with the reel handle. The only time you move the jig is with the rod tip. So the jig is, instead of just reeling it through the water column, it'll sit up in the grass and kind of pulsate, and it stays up higher in the water column, and you don't have to fish it as fast. You can fish it slower, but it just kind of pulsates on top of the water.
Like a more of a live type action.
It helps you get the secondary action out of the skirt a lot better. Then say normally you just get the action out of the chunk on the jig. When you're pumping it like this, it makes the skirt pulse, and it'll give it a little secondary action and give them something else to kind of key into and make it seem a little bit real. I just want one big bite in here. It's probably gonna come out there if I had to guess. Yeah. When I pull the water back up, I don't think they'll just rush back here. I think they just kind of move up out there. They'll just sit down there while the water's down. Oh my God, that's a giant.
You miss him?
Did you see that wake? Oh, that was a big one. May have to come back and catch his butt in a minute.
Well, Jared missed a giant.
Good thing. Another thing about swimming this jig, you're gonna miss every fish that comes up on it, and that's gonna break your heart. These fish on lay, they see swim jigs all the time and flipping sticks, and if you can get one to commit to it, get one to roll up on it, as soon as you pump it and you know he's got it, set the hook. Don't give it to him and let him eat it or anything, because these fish, they're super smart when it comes to grass fishing, because there's so many people that do it down here. And so as soon as you feel the fish, you see him, get him.
There you go.
Ah.
Oh man.
I got my daggum, dude. He ripped my, look at that. He pulled my skirt all the way down, my trunk all the way down. That fish was shallow. You see how shallow? That fish was really shallow.
But yeah, these fish are super smart when it comes to grass fishing, because so many people do it down here. And so as soon as you feel your rod load up on them, you got to stick them. You can't give it to them and let them eat it, because as soon as they feel you, they'll spit it, because they've been caught by a swim jig probably 100 times in their life.
Another key thing that we've done over the years that have caught some fish is when you're swimming these jigs, these the bass will come up, and a lot of the time they'll just come up and miss it from the back. The key thing is that you have a Cinco or a trick worm tied on, like weightless. You can pitch it back in there and that fish will eat it. There's no telling how many times me and Jared have been out here in tournaments, and Jared will miss one on a swim jig, or I'll miss one on a swim jig, and one of us will pick it up and pick that trick worm up and flip it back in there, and that fish will just come out of that grass and hit it again. It's just something more subtle. Those fish are fired up.
And when you do that, you want to get it back in there as quick as possible, and when you throw it, you want to hit the hole that the fish made in the water where he came up at, because there's an 80% chance that fish is still within 5 feet of where he was, because he doesn't know what just happened. So he's trying to figure out what just happened and trying to get him a meal, and then all of a sudden he's got a little Cinco falling in front of him, and they'll about 80% of the time they'll come up and bite it.
It's the same thing as like when you're at Smith Lake or some Clearwater Lake, or really you can get it anywhere. If you miss a fish, you can pick a fluke back up on a point, and they'll eat it. Swim jig fishing is definitely more of a power type of fishing. It's not really, I wouldn't put it in the category of finesse at all, really. So
yeah, I mean, I'm throwing a 7.3 fast action heavy rod with 65-pound braid on it. So it's definitely a power fishing technique. And you gotta have that 65-pound braid for when they eat it back in the grass, so you can pull them out.
So we started in the back of this pocket right here, and we fished this whole entire stretch of bank. So now we're coming out of the main river, and this is a grass point. And
off this point, there's a rock pile out here, and so all these little main river points that I come to, I like to swim a jig around them, and then I'll turn around and pull back off of them and throw something like a jerk bait or a little crankbait, or maybe even a spook and a waffle plopper out off of them, and try to catch a spotted bass that's sitting out there.
I mean, that's one of the things I love about the Coosa River is you can catch a largemouth and a spotted bass 2 feet away from each other. I mean, it's just so much fun. You can change up.
I actually caught one of the biggest spots in my life flipping a jig in this grass right here on the point, right up in that little hole in it, right before dark one day. I think it was like a 5.2. It was a big spot. And like you said, that's what's great about this river. You can catch a spot and a largemouth right beside each other.
It's go time. You know that when Jared does this right here, it's getting tough.
Well, I stuck myself with the hook.
The old drop shot.
What it is I know there's fish sitting on this point, and I can't get them to bite anything, so I figured if I threw a drop shot on them, they'd eat it. Fluorocarbon. Highly invisible to the naked eye. Surgically sharpened owner mosquito hook.
Fishing
Size
with Jared.
4.
This is fishing with Jared.
Throwing a margarita mutilator, robo-worm.
It's the key to fishing, is having somebody in the boat that'll make you laugh when you're not catching any fish, because, you know, that helps every now and then. Sometimes it just gets annoying, though.
I'm your guy. 'Cause I'm never catching them.
That's the truth.
Look over there. Hey, those guys over there,
They're catching them. So, hey, you ever want to see anybody catch some fish, you go over there.
He's on them, boy.
Them old guys in those aluminum boats.
All right, so we couldn't really get bit in that creek back there. So we figured we'd come out here on the main river and fish this little stretch of grass and see if we can catch one out here. But I really came here to fish these 2 points and try to catch a spot.
Oh, missed him. Dang it. Oh my God. Little bitty. That's 4.
That's 4, man.
I meant like, Coach Matthews asks you what you got today. You say, oh, I ain't got nothing. All my classes plan on
I don't
watching.
lie like you, Jared.
All my classes
I'm not a liar. I'm a good person.
We were watching a different movie in every class today.
Just 7 different movies.
Even weight training. Dude, I had like a 6.5 eat a spook right here last time I came a week ago.
A 6.5.
Yeah.
A 6.5.
All right, so talk about why you're on the wall.
Thing is, I got a qualifier here Sunday. Like, I gotta figure something out.
Thing is, he just asks you a question, you can answer.
What's up?
Talk about why you're fishing the wall.
What if I ain't got an explanation for why I'm fishing?
Jared, what did it take for you to make the team at Alabama?
Well, at Alabama, we have anybody that wants to be on the team can be on the team. But if you want to get all the benefits of the sponsors and fish all the championships, we have a set of 3 qualifiers on 3 different rivers in Alabama, and we randomly select a lake, and then we fish those, and whoever comes in the top 12 of the Angler of the Year points for our qualifiers gets all the benefits of the sponsors and stuff. But like I said, anybody can pay and get a jersey and fish all the little tournaments we fish, but to fish all the championships and get all the sponsor benefits, you got to come in the top 12 of the qualifiers. It's not that hard of a system, but it does make it a lot tougher on you than high school fishing does, because you actually got competition and they're all really good.
Sometimes you want to change up the retrieve speed of swim jigs. Sometimes you want to swim it up higher, you know, near the top of the water like that, you know, where you're waking. Sometimes you want to drop it down low, something lower in the water column, because that can actually make a difference, you know.
It really all depends on the fish's mood. Like today, they're probably going to be a little bit more lethargic, obviously, since we hadn't got bit.
Yep.
But so you kind of want to be swimming your jig a little bit lower in the water column. And if it's real bad, you can tie on a 1/4 ounce jig, just a real light one, and throw it out there and just swim it super slow, and it'll just sit right up there and just kind of pulse right on top, and it doesn't move much at all. And it'll give them time to come up and eat it. Can we make a how not to show?
We'd be on top right now.
I know, I want to catch some fish because I know we've got good content and good video.
On this episode of Winning Edges, we're going to teach you how to catch absolutely nothing.
Show y'all how to not catch them and show y'all what not to do so that you don't mess up when you get there, you know?
Being honest with you, you know, we're just trying not to share our secrets, you know. We're just trying to get out here and
trying to do some new stuff.
New stuff.
New grass.
Oh yeah.
Never been in this pocket in my life.
I've never seen anybody swim a jig on Lay Lake in my entire life. Like, what are we doing? Who knows? So now what Jared's doing while I'm swimming a jig is he's actually flipping, and what he's doing is he's taking a little creature bait with a big tungsten on it, with a big, you know, heavy. Is that a 1/2 ounce?
This one?
Yeah.
No, it's 1.25 ounces.
It's 1.25 ounces. And what was I thinking? Delete that. Delete that. I gotta
Start over, go.
So now what Jared's doing while I'm swimming this jig is he's flipping this.
This is called grass, buddy. This creek flipping the matted vegetation. Jared is flipping a circular piece of rubber that looks like absolutely nothing that a fish would ever eat. Pretty much what I'm trying to do is since I can't get them to bite a swim jig this morning, I figured I'd pick this up because if they're not wanting to actually chase a swim jig down and eat it, I figured that if I could tap them on top of the head with this thing, they might actually eat it. Plus, this thing falls so fast in front of their face that it's just a pure reaction out of them to eat it as soon as it falls in front of them.
I wish you'd chill one daggum time.
Oh my!
What'd you just do?
That's how you get killed in fishing. Fishing's a very dangerous sport when it comes with Jared, man. Look at that. See that weight right there? If that hits you in the face, Lights out. Game over. Wasted. In these moments, you just wonder, why do I fish?
What is life?
Why do I fish?
You know, life sucks. It really does.
Why do I fish?
It's a big one. Get the net.
Where's the net?
In the net compartment. Right here.
What?
Get him.
No, jerkbait.
Jerkbait. Alright, so we just pulled up on this ledge out here, and we fished in creeks all morning and stuff, and we couldn't get bit. And we fished some main river points, couldn't get bit, so I decided we'd come out here and fish these ledges, and first cast caught a big spot. Woo! Yes, sir.
Giant, baby.
That's a squeak. Another pip squeak.
It's not like real small, but it's only real big.
Oh yeah, pretty little spot. You both looking? Good deal, spot.
Broke me off. Well, we got set up on this this flat out here. It's like a shelf right here. And Jared caught one on a jerk bait, and I just caught one on a swim bait, a little swim bait. We were just working it down the edge of this this shelf, and it kind of drops off for probably about 20 feet. And we found some on the graph, and now we're just kind of trying to get it figured out. Well, we're about to finish up here on Lay Lake today. We're gonna fish a couple more grass points and swim a jig and throw a blade around the grass and see if we can get a big bite.
Well, boys, it's been real, and it's been fun, but it ain't been real fun.
How many did y'all end up getting?
Three.
Three.
Let's go. Let's skedaddle on out of here.
Yep.
Don't.